My father was involved in politics in addition to being a small businessman. He was in the state legislature, which gave me an interest in the legislative process. I had the good fortune of being asked whether I'd be interested in working on some communications projects. One of the projects I was asked to work on was getting an authorization for them to connect their paging terminals via satellite system, which had never been done before. John Lund is the person who wanted to connect the paging terminals via satellite. Answer I was the name of the company. He was also on the board of directors of Telocator, the association that I ended up joining. And when they had an opening at the paging division, he asked whether I'd be interested. One of the first things we did was streamline in the licensing process to get additional spectrum allocated to the industry. This was also a time when many states regulated the industry, and so you needed to get state authorization in order to be able to provide services. All of that changed while I was at the association and opened the door for competition, new entrants into the industry, regional and national paging systems. It was a very exciting time in the industry, and we were successful in getting additional spectrum allocated. It's called PCS spectrum, Personal Communication Services.
It fought for and allocated for innovation in wireless, and the allocation of the licenses and the rules that the FCC would set would ensure and foster the fact that innovation could happen, and these new 100% digital platforms would be built, not carrying the legacy platforms of the original cell systems.
We created a whole new division to represent these entities, went through the process of working on standards, service definitions.
He had a great way of distilling things into a simple message. He really got that association to fight for the new innovators of the time. All the incumbents didn't want this to happen. He made it happen.
He is the classic association leader, able to carry the message, very effective at the FCC, positioning themselves for more spectrum, better regulations. In a way, it was adversarial to some of the private radio interests.
Despite the industry growing very nicely, there was an image that pagers were only used by doctors and drug dealers. And we initiated a campaign to change that. Getting them behind any kind of a campaign like that was challenging, but it was tremendously successful. One of the issues that the PCS companies had to deal with was that the spectrum that they were acquiring the rights to use were occupied by microwave systems. So we founded a company to basically go out and negotiate with the microwave systems and to build new systems for them. Grew it substantially over the course of 3 years and sold it. I agreed to stay on and build up a field services organization for them. So I ended up running what was then called PCOM Network Services. And then I also started a company called Square Loop that was involved in providing location-based services. Technology that had been developed for the military. We were in the process of deploying GPS capability into mobile handsets, and I always thought that there would be commercial applications for it.
Tom at his heart also is an entrepreneur, and he loves innovation. I love the fact that he's at the satellite industry because they're lucky to have him.
The satellite industry has been around for 50 years. It's only been within the last 10 years or so that we've seen this tremendous increase in the number of satellites that have been launched, the services that are being able to be offered. And it's been fascinating for me to go through these two industries as they've gone through substantial growth and disruption.
You know, it's tough when you're dealing with boards and members and they all want their way, and he really protected what his team was doing.
It takes somebody like Tom to bring all those forces together because he is so professional, non-confrontational, listens.
The greatest satisfaction I've had in my career is when people have thanked me for creating opportunities for them. You know, whether it's been at the association, I've had the good fortune of working with fantastic employees. Our board of directors in both associations and all of the volunteers would not have been able to accomplish that without their participation.
It is easy to find fault with Washington, the way Washington does things. But actually, it's people like Tom that make Washington work